Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Tyra's Table Talk Show with me, your host, Princess Tyra Abok. On today's episode, we have a very special guest, Dr. Anatoli Kamugisha, a mentor, author of the book From a Business Strategy to Strategy, an inspiration to the young and adult generation, a CEO and an entrepreneur. Join me as we dive more into who he is, what he does, and giving advice to the young and adult generation in the 21st century. Welcome to the show, Dr. Anatoli. The Tyra's Table Talk Show is a show that inspires the young generation and motivates them as well. And on this show, we like to have people who love to inspire young minds and motivate them in ways to change the world. And upon that basis is why we are having you as our special guest today.
Okay. Pleasure being here, and I'm ready to give you any knowledge you want to. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So, Dr. Anatoli, me and the viewers would love to know who are you and what is your background?
Who am I?
Yes.
Okay, I'm called Dr. Anatoli Kamugisha, the CEO Akright Projects that deals in real estate development. I come from a very remote area called Rwomuhoro Ibanda in Mbarara, Ibanda district in Mbarara region, in western region. And I grew up there, was born there, grew up there. I studied there in those remote up-country schools. Now from there until I came to Kampala. When I reached here Kampala, then I came to Kampala when I was joining Chambogo Polytechnic by that time, which is now a university. At my first year, I dropped out. When I dropped out, I had no choice. And the reason why I dropped out is that my father was attacked by thugs, by thieves at home. They beat him up, they killed some people at home. Even himself was beaten up, he was almost dead because it took him 3 years to recover. During that time, there was nobody to support the family. He was a bread maker at home of about 11 children, and I'm one of them. So you know what it means. So it was terrible. So now, for me, I had no formal education now because I had not graduated. Two, I had no capital, no money to start a business. So I was in the middle of what to do. Until at that time, I started now exploring my entrepreneurial talents. Because even my father had a shop, so I used to be with him in the shop, these small shops, village shops. So, but I learned a lot from the time I was with him. He taught me how to deal with customers, taught me how to receive money, how to keep the money, how to protect the money, and how you use the money to buy more stock and get whatever. So that kind of time I was with him in the shop gave me a lot of interest in entrepreneurship. So now when I dropped out of school, then I had nothing to do, only to look for what to do. Now while I was there on a television, in someone's, not in my television, but in someone's home, watching a television, then I saw President Museveni. By that time they had captured power together with his vice president called Dr. Chiseka. By that time, they were promoting small-scale industries. Small-scale. They talk about small-scale in India. Small want to make Uganda become a middle class. They are talking very good ideas, very good, inspiring messages for the young people. So I said, can't I be a manufacturer? Can't I also start my own small factory, small scale? So it is along those lines that I started now thinking outside the box to see what I can do, started imagining of what to do. So along those lines is when I sort of starting a factory for producing blocks, bricks, and blocks and tiles, which can be used in roofing houses. Now, all of a sudden, I said, but now, how do I do it? Then I need to register a company. Yes, I said, I need to register a company. Then I said, after registering a company, then I should start now manufacturing. How do I manufacture? No, I will come up with an idea. I will go to the bank and tell them the good idea, and they give me capital for me to do what? That was it. Then I said I must go to the bank. So with that, I registered the company, yes. I mobilized the friends, those childhood friends. Some of them were still at school. Some of them have got it because for them they had finished school, and they had got jobs in other places. It was only me who had no job. So I told them, now come and we register the company. I mobilized them, we registered the company. Then I said, let's go to the bank to borrow the money, because for them they were busy in their job. It was me pushing everything. I went to the bank to borrow the money here and there. I kept on making a feasibility study. Then I had to learn how to make a feasibility study. You have to make a cash flow projections. I had to make those cash flow projections. Anyway, when I was in school, I was good at mathematics and the science, as you know. So anything called numbers, when it comes to anything concerning mathematics, that one is in blood. So making my own cash flow was easy because it is inflow, outflow, and the balance. So I managed to get that. Then when it comes to feasibility study, of course, I had the background of civil engineering, so it was very easy now to know how to write a project, the preamble, the content, and the conclusion. And that's it, in a simple way, So at the end of the day, I managed to write those things. Then the bank give me the money, I begged. Of course, eventually, the bank failed to give me the money. They gave me a regret. No, sorry, we cannot give you the money. We want to see companies that we have already financed to see their progress first. Then we can give you money later. So when we failed to get the money, those friends of mine, my childhood friends and hobbies, they dropped me. They said, we are no longer interested in this company. You take your company, because for us, since we have failed to get the money and capital, we cannot be part of you. Then I struggled with my company as a name and as a person. Then I maneuvered until I got some small contracts. Right now I started out a contract of building for some people. Since I didn't have capital, but I would say I can build for you. Then you give me the plan, I interpret the plan, I get builders, those with experience, because I didn't have experience as much as I have the name, but I didn't have proper hands-on experience. And I managed now also to catch up with them, and we managed to build houses. And the first house built and handed over. So I learned that it's possible to build houses and give it to people, and they give you the money. Use their money, use people's money, you use your hands-on and the knowledge, and then you deliver. And that's what I did. They gave me the money, those who wanted houses. Me, I used my skill to build and keep on paying me the money when and when I make a requisition for the money. So at the end of the day, I managed to build houses, and then from there, everything now is history. The day I started becoming an expert in building houses, started becoming an expert in understanding the people's tastes and preference, started understanding housing, started understanding then I started improving. Now, from the construction as a contractor, now I became then I changed from being a contractor into now a physical development, into a real estate developer, by buying my own land and building on buying my own land and building houses on it and sell complete products. Because when I was building houses for these other people, I used to build in slums, and I never liked, naturally, I don't like a disorganized setup. So it is because of building those houses in slums that I realized that this is a bad thing. This is good for someone to get land in a good area, you organize and you build houses in an organized setup and you give them to people. That's when the concept of now real estate came in, as also as a business, but as an improvement, because the first company was called Kamugisha Group of Companies. When I started this other company, I changed the name into Akright. Akright means AK right. Anatoli, Kamugisha, right concept. So that's how it came all about like that. Then it became a business. So that's real a background.
So, Dr. Anatoli Kamugisha,
yes.
based on what you've told us, you have experienced various challenges, including failing to complete your education, rejection by the bank, and abandonment by your friends. But my main question is, what mainly inspired you to keep going? I mean, from all the problems you were facing, why didn't you just decide to be dependent and go work for someone else? What made you decide to start a business of your own and become independent?
You see, one, the situation can dictate to push you somewhere, because when there is a challenge, you naturally you are pushed to the position where you're supposed to make innovation, where you're supposed to have a solution, how you can maneuver, how can you maneuver that challenge. And in attempt for me to solve my problem of having no job, to having family challenges which I have explained, then I had to ask myself, there's something, what can I do that can be whatever. That's when I started now using the nearest opportunity in relation to my knowledge, to my environment I was in. One, I had learned that people are building in very wrong places, in slums.
Yeah.
So I saw it as an opportunity, though I didn't have the money for me to change. But I said, can't one change? Somebody to change it means you need to have the money, buy the land and remove those things, and you need to, first of all, those things happen, you need to be a government to make sure you have an authority whereby you can use a policy to change those things and change that kind of stuff. So in the absence of the two, it means it is very, very difficult. But for me, I came up with my innovation of saying now, I mean, I looked at the opportunities, I looked at that, but I said, I myself, since I don't like this thing, can't I? Those were questions. I had to set questions. Can't I go mobilize some financials so that I can get money to buy land? When I buy land, I build those houses to the people who also would want to have good houses in organized environment. And I found it works. But I said, do I have the money? But I said, how can't I use their money to build for them? One, I can have a concept, an idea, they buy into the idea. It means they will finance my concept by buying into it. Because if somebody says, I want a house, and I calculate and I say, to give you a house of 3-bedroom house, I need maybe 200 million. And maybe say, okay, yeah, 200, I'm ready to do it. Then you say, now 200 million, I'm ready to pay, but I can give you a deposit of 50 million. Now, I use 50 million, first of all, to make sure that 50 million is the one I use to buy the land. 50 million, I go and buy a land of 15 million. I remain with 35 million. I use the 35 million that's remaining. I start building at this level, then he pays me another money. Then you finish.
Wow, that's very intelligent.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and there are very many young people out there who have faced various amounts of challenges. But as you see, Dr. Anatoli Kamugisha here today is a very amazing man. Now, Dr. Anatoli Kamugisha, like you said, you have very intelligent entrepreneurship skills, like you talked about the house and buying a land of 15 million. Now, my main question is, what advice would you give to youth, young people who have faced various challenges and have given up or have still failed to find different ways to move on with their lives, and yet you have come from very different challenges and you are still one of the biggest people we know today. So what advice would you give to the young generation out there who are job seekers, who are looking for ways to start up their lives again, who are feeling like they've wasted so much time in their lives, taking so much time in different things, and yet they could be innovative, and yet they could be creative and think of solutions of their own?
Now, young people, you need to know that the world
is in three phases, is in three worlds. We live three worlds in one world. There is a world called the past, people who have lived billion years ago. There is a world which is present, and there is a world which is called the future. And this world will continue like that, it will never end. The one of today will become the past, and the one of the future will become present, and another one will be created. So the world is like that. So what is important is, in those three worlds, the past, you don't need to lament because past is past. The future, you cannot lament because you are not yet there. You are getting me? But it will be there. I know there are people who are not yet created now, but they will be created. They will be there. Eh? But now, fortunately, for us, we are the people who are present and who are holding on life. We have what we call a golden time. So you need to guard your golden time jealously and make sure you discover what you can do in life before you leave. And the moment you have that kind of a mindset, because it's all about mindset, if you have that kind of a mindset, you cannot fail to discover what you can do to this world. Discover what you think is a problem society needs, and what do you think you can provide as a solution. If you take an example, you might find there is a boring area, a boring village. Go and entertain, join the music and entertain them, and they will be happy. If you find people, they are lacking education, start a school, give them knowledge. You have discovered yourself. If you find some people don't have houses, like the way I discovered that there is a problem, people don't have houses, and if they have them, they are in slums. So it's better I put them in an organized environment. When I discovered, I said, no, I must do that. And I discovered it. So in other words, the young people, they have the golden time. Like nobody should be a failure in life. The one who will be a failure in life is that person who has failed to believe in himself. Just believing in yourself, say, no, with or without, something must happen. You getting me? With or without, or any time, any minute, I must become a professor. Or any time, I must pass my exams. I'm reading the books, I must pass my exams. So if you believe in yourself that you're going to pass your exam, you will pass. If you believe that you are not going to pass, you will fail. I don't understand my point. So in life, there is nobody who should fail to get what to do. And anything you do is a job. Not necessarily these white-collar jobs. No. Even you can find somebody with dirty shoes, like whatever, and say like that one of money, and say, no, I can clean them. After cleaning them, I give you the money. That's money.
So, Dr. Anatoli, like you have said, we have very many young people in this generation today who are, let's say, most of our population, and who are crying for jobs, who are failing to be job seekers, and most of them have completed their education with bachelor's and very amazing degrees, and yet they failed to be as innovative as you are. So, why aren't they as innovative as you are? Is it because they lack entrepreneurship skills? Is it because they don't believe in yourself? Is it because they don't believe in themselves? Is it a problem with our education? What do you think could be the main issue that stops our young generation of today to be job seekers?
One.
Sorry, I said seekers. Yeah. To be job creators.
Now, mindset is because our brain has been corrupted by the setup, the way we live with our people. We all know if I have to go to school, study, you cram people's theories, people's histories, then you become now the best with a degree, and that's when that's the knowledge you have, and therefore you should be given a job. And then you become a manager, you become whatever. So you have seen the problem is about the mindset, how the environment, how we are set up, and at the same time, education. Our education has less of practical skills. We study theories. And let me tell you, theories, we study people's stories. And people's stories are not always 100%. Like when I'm telling you the story, at times there are some things I might forget. And when I write a book, you think you have known everything of Akright or of Kamugisha. No, there are certain things I'm going to forget. Or I will disregard saying, no, this is not important to tell. And yet it was a cornerstone to my success. So all theories we read from whatever, all the books you see don't have 100% of, you getting me? So practical things, when you do something which is practical, you know it 100%. The mindset of young people is totally different because we are trained to be job seekers, not job creators. Or whatever is studying to be a job seeker. But now, it's high time the education should change or improve, that they put practical things more than what. Take an example. If you are at Makerere studying engineering, or you are doing Makerere studying physical planning, how can you go to Makerere, which is surrounded by slums, and then you say, I have graduated as a physical planner, and yet you have not done anything around the university, and the university has remained as a slum, the neighborhood has remained as a slum. Maybe even you are an architect, and the whole university has remained with whatever. The university, the students should not be in those white rooms or whatever. They should be going into those slums and study and make a physical planning of those areas and do architectural plans of those homes, so that at the end of the day, all those slums should be transformed. So if you are at the university and you transform a smaller portion of the slum, therefore you have become an expert as a physical planner. You have become an expert as an architect. But when you go there and they say, you are finished, and they give you you come as a, then you come, I want a job. To do what? Because I am a physical planner. What have you planned? I am an architect. What have you changed? What have you changed as a society? Are you getting my? So we study wrong things. Or whatever we study them upside down. So in other words, I'm trying to say there must be a change of mindset.
Wow, wow, wow. That was such an amazing advice from Dr. Anatoli Kamugisha. And all my lovely viewers, I'm sure that you have understood that the main problem in our generation today is our mindset. You shouldn't think that you can't do anything. And like he said, you should believe in yourself and know that if I'm gonna pass my exams and if you read, then you can pass. And you shouldn't just go in class and cram things for the sake of passing your exams. You should be practical and learn problem-solving skills in school. Because if you're an engineer and you failed to improve the slums in Kampala and you graduate with a degree, then what exactly have you done? My dear guest, my main question to you, and after all the advice our viewers have heard, is how do you think is the best way for us, the young generation, to learn entrepreneurship skills and be innovative?
One, you need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in yourself. That on this earth, there is something that you can do which others cannot do. You don't know, but you will discover it. You discover the purpose. Because every person has a talent, but those talents come when there is a problem around. Those talents come in to create solutions. Are you understanding? So every person on this earth has a purpose and why he was born and what he can do. But unfortunately, some people had not discovered their talents they have and the purpose why they were born and why on this earth. So when you believe in yourself and you have a time to think along the lines of solving any problem, you say, on this earth, as I was born, what problem can I solve? Which problem do I have a skill or do I have a knowledge that I can do it better than any other person? So in trying to look for, as you meander around, to look for what you think you can do best to satisfy every person on this earth. It can be music, it can be football, it can be building, it can be teaching. In a class you say, no, what I can do, I think I am good at teaching. So let me go and make miracles in a classroom. Go in a classroom, you get your students, you teach them, you tell them, you make sure that they are all okay. That's a talent. You can say, okay, me, I'm going to be a politician, whereby I'm going to tell the world how the world should go. I think I have those skills and people can believe in me and I can give them direction. Where you find you have a talent or you have a solution, anything that you know more than others and can change people's lives and can solve any problem, That's your talent.
That was amazing advice, my lovely guest. And my viewers, as you have heard, that once you have a talent that can solve any problem, or once you have a talent that can solve any problem in your community, then you have learned true entrepreneurship skills, because once you do that, you have created your own job, and you have to believe in yourself. You need to pursue, and you don't need to have a negative mindset that you can't do it. You just need to tell yourself that I believe in myself, and I know that my talent can solve a problem and impact someone's life out there. And Dr. Anatoli is also the author of this amazing book, From a Business Strategy to Strategy. This book teaches the young generation entrepreneurship skills and mentioning the hardships that he faced to be the man he is today. This book creates an open mindset to anyone who reads it, and personally, as a witness of reading this book, I have learned a lot from him and him himself, the author. So, Dr. Anatoli, what propelled you to write this book?
Most people have got are trained. You know, we are studying things from abroad. That series, the books written by those people from abroad. And we are only taught how to be job seekers, not job creators. And therefore, because of that gap, I said no. There is a problem of job creation. The problem of people creating jobs. And it is with my experience, what I went through, said no, I will be cheating the world if I don't write a book that can guide the young person. I want anybody who has left the university, who will be stranded like me, because I was one time stranded when I had no job, when I had no qualification, when I was a dropout and I had no capital, so I was stranded. So how many people are like me, who some of them, at least for them, they are educated. For me, I had even no qualifications, but I was also stranded and I had no capital. Those three things, I didn't have them, but for them they have at least a qualification, but they don't have capital and they don't have a job. But for me, I was lacking three. So I am sure I have so many people who are stranded. Then I said, who is going to give these people a bridge? Who is going to give them a bridge to cross into an area where they can discover their talents and get jobs and create their own jobs? And that's the reason why I wrote this book.
Oh wow, that was some wonderful advice, and we do understand, my lovely viewers, that the reason he wrote this book was to share knowledge to the young generation to be job creators and not job seekers. And me, as a privileged young child, to be reading this book at my young age, I feel like a changed person, and I do believe that I am already a kid entrepreneur. So doctor, my humble request is that could I kindly be an ambassador of this book in order to sell it and inspire young generation of my age to be entrepreneurs with their lovely skills at this age?
Before you say that I am a successful person, you must have a proof that you have successors. You have people who have gone into your shoes and they are admiring you and they are benchmarking you. That's when you say I'm successful. You can't say I'm successful unless. So now you are coming in as a young person saying you have liked my book, you have liked my knowledge, you have read whatever. Why not? If you say you want to be my ambassador, please, no problem. There be. What is important, can this book transform young people to become job creators? That's the question. And that's the reason why it was authored. To help job seekers become job creators. And now if you want to be an ambassador, to add on creating many people to become job creators, there you are. Now if you are going to be an ambassador of this book, by supporting people, helping people to become job creators and job seekers, by reading this book and inspire them, I have no problem. Go ahead, become my what?
Ambassador.
Become my ambassador. Cheers!
But to all my lovely viewers, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode on the Tyra's Table Talk Show. And don't forget that in case you want to purchase this amazing book, From a Business Strategy to Strategy, it is available in Aristoc and Uganda Bookshop. And in case you want it in bulk, be able to contact me with the number on your screen. Thank you for watching and have a blessed day.